Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. It's Power Lunch. My name is Neil, and we are back for another lunchtime live broadcast. Exciting as always. It is August the 27th of 2025. It is 12 p.m. here in Japan. Where are you? Where are you listening from? What are you having for lunch today? I'm having my cappuccino, my delicious cappuccino. Yeah, we got a little music today. How is this? Does it sound okay? Let me know. Send me some comments. Put them on the screen here for a minute. See if anybody shows up. So today, we're going to be talking about a very hot subject in Japan. Let me stop the music for a moment as we get serious into our topic. I'll bring up our story. This is the big news. This is the big topic of conversation in Japan, in the media, on TV, on the radio, and with friends, whatever. Japan's real estate market at a crossroads. Foreign buyer restrictions, soaring prices, and the rise of the right-wing political party Sansei-to. Rising nationalism meets record-high condo prices and a shortage of workers to build new homes. So I pulled another story continuing from yesterday from Mark Kennedy, another expat American. He lives in Oita in Kyushu, writes these great stories filled with relevant information about Japan. I highly recommend you give him a follow on Substack. So let's dive into this story and learn what's going on in Japan right now. So the Tokyo condominium prices. This is what is the main topic of conversation. Tokyo condominium prices are averaging over 100 million yen, approximately US dollars 675,000 US dollars. And foreign investors, especially those from China, are purchasing the prime units. They're buying up all the good ones, man. They're buying up all the good units because they got the money. China got the money. The debate has shifted from national security to affordability of basic housing for Japanese citizens. Okay? Let me translate this into simple language. It's too goddamn expensive. Okay? Japanese people cannot afford to live in their own country, or it's starting to go that direction, especially in the larger metropolitan areas like Tokyo, Osaka, etc. What began as a fringe nationalist stance has become mainstream policy talk. Even centrist parties are adopting some form of restriction, signaling a political consensus that was unimaginable 5 years ago. Very true. 5 years ago, no one was talking about this as a problem, except for areas like Niseko, here in Hokkaido, Furano, Hakuba, maybe Niigata. Areas close to ski resorts that have seen a crazy asset boom, property prices going super high, everyone's selling, condominiums being built, hotels, etc. So within those communities, this has been talked about for a long time, but it's only really hitting the mainstream now. There's no doubt that foreign investment is flooding Japan's luxury condominium market, much of which is driven by pure price speculation. Those bastards, those real estate bastards, they're flipping it. They're flipping the properties. They're speculating that it's going to go up. So they're buying and they're going to sell it even higher. Oh boy. The average condominium sale price in the fiscal year 2025 by Mitsui Fudosan, a major developer in Japan, is up approximately 20% from last year. That's huge. They're averaging $825,000 a unit. So I don't know how big that is. I'm guessing like 1 DK, maybe 2 LDK. I don't know. But I'm sure it's not the most, it's the average, okay? When asked about the percentage of foreign buyers of condominiums sold in Chiyoda, Minato, and Shibuya wards, approximately 70% responded that it was 20% or more. So, according to the real estate companies, of all their buyers, about 20% are non-Japanese, are foreign. And the price has gone up 20% in 1 year. So interesting correlation there. 20% foreign buyers, 20% price goes up. The number of foreign residents in Japan is at a record high, 3.7 million people. That includes me. I'm one of them, representing a 10.7% year-over-year increase and accounting for nearly 3% of Japan's total population. So still only 3% of Japan's total population. I think that means most of these new buyers, these foreign buyers, they're not even residents. They're just buying these properties as an investment, right? Those of us who live here in Japan, we earn Japanese yen. We are in the same situation as most Japanese people. And I think there's very few who can afford to buy these really expensive condominiums in Shibuya, Chiyodaku, and Minato. Next slide. The weak yen is also a big issue, and it makes Japanese real estate appear more affordable to wealthy overseas buyers. It seems much cheaper than Shanghai, Seoul, or Singapore. Developers have capitalized on this demand by staffing model rooms with Chinese and English-speaking representatives to facilitate mass purchases. Hello and welcome to Shibuya apartment building. Would you like to see the premium room on the top floor? It's quite beautiful. I think you can afford it. So they got Chinese and English-speaking representatives to help people buy the apartment. The friction point is, of course, how do you control this? Do you restrict foreign investment to cool the prices, keep the prices down? But actually, limiting foreign construction labor might have the opposite effect. So you got two problems here. Japan's construction sector already relies on tens of thousands of workers from Vietnam, Indonesia, Myanmar, and more. A crackdown could stall projects and further reduce the housing supply. Of course. So if you restrict the foreign investment, maybe the price is cool, but then if you stop building, there's not going to be enough, so the prices stay high. Profits from luxury condominiums are soaring. Mitsui Fudosan Residential Businesses operates with a 23% margin. Man, they're making the money. Much of their success is fueled by the overseas buyers who can outbid domestic salarymen and pay in cash. They come with the cash. That is the big issue. So even if foreign buying is curbed, prices won't necessarily fall if the supply drops. Singapore's example shows you can restrict capital and keep construction going, but it takes precise policy design. I have a feeling that's not going to happen here. Given Japan's traditionally slow pace of change, don't hold your breath. However, Japan's central government will soon address the following issues. So this is where Sanseito and some of the new, more popular right-wing political parties are putting forward new bills. Foreign Land Acquisition Regulation Bill is going to be a political litmus test. Of course, there's a lot of loopholes, such as buying via Japanese front companies will need to be addressed, and whether Japan will adopt leasehold-only sales for foreigners, as is done in parts of Southeast Asia. I spoke to a friend who lives in Bali, and he was telling me that foreigners are not allowed to own property in Bali at all. Zero. So they all use a local person. If you marry someone in Bali, obviously then your husband or your wife would be the person who owns the property. So that's the way to do it. Another, if you're not able to do that, you can make a contract with someone to be the owner, and then you are like renting it from them. Or there's loopholes, right? There's ways to get around it. So what will Japan do about that? Now, here we come to the section where I have some ideas, okay? I always have a couple of ideas. Some of them really suck. And occasionally there's a diamond in the rough. And I got one for you today. So let me know what you think. The irony of this debate is striking. While the average price of an urban condominium in Tokyo now exceeds 100 million yen, fueled by the foreign buyers, the country also has more than 3.5 million abandoned homes known as Akiya. Excuse me. Scattered across rural and shrinking towns. However, these vacant properties rarely solve the affordability crisis. They are often poor condition, far from jobs, and burdened by renovation costs or zoning rules. The result is a split market, scarcity, and a bidding war in the desirable urban areas, and an oversupply of unwanted homes in rural Japan. So it's so true. This is a super important paragraph. In the city centers, luxury, expensive new condominiums selling for crazy prices. And you can drive, I don't know, an hour from the heart of Tokyo and find Akiya, abandoned homes, run down like the one in this photo. Need to be repaired, need a lot of love and work. And then even if you do, there's no work there. There's no transportation, whatever. There's problems. And here's a photo of Hakuba, the famous ski area in Nagano, Japan. Dramatic scenery and world-class ski resorts in Hakuba attract many foreign investors, many of whom enjoy skiing and snowboarding there. As I was talking about earlier, this has been going on for a long time. If Japan restricts non-resident foreigners from buying second homes in ski resort areas such as Niseko and Hakuba, it could implement residency requirements. You gotta live here, and then you can buy it. I like that one. Impose higher taxes on non-resident purchases. I like that one too. Tax those rich people. Tax them. Get the money. Establish permit systems in designated zones or enforce minimum occupancy rules. All interesting ideas. However, such policies are easily circumvented through corporate ownership, nominee buyers, or reclassifying homes as commercial hospitality assets. Oh, it's always the loophole. There's always a loophole somewhere, those bastards. There's always a way to get around the rules, right? While these resort towns exemplify the tension between foreign capital driving up prices and the need for tourism revenue, drafted rules could be mere symbolic gestures with little real impact on wealthy overseas buyers. So here's my idea. I'm going to hit you with a big idea here, okay? Hold on a second. Let me pull this up. What about this? I got a crazy idea. It just hit me. We got all these Akiya, empty homes, and we got really expensive properties in the city. Why don't we make a rule? You can buy the expensive condominium, but it comes as a set. It's a set plan. It's a set purchase. It's like lunch. It's like you can have the normal lunch, or you can have the A set or the B set. But in this case, you have to buy the set. Do you want the A set, which comes with 2 Akiya properties? Or do you want the B set, which comes with 5 Akiya properties? Okay, that should be the choice. You can buy the expensive property, but it comes with Akiya somewhere in Japan. Maybe it could be even random. And you have to renovate them. You have to make them livable. And then you have to rent them at a reasonable cost to residents of Japan. You can't flip them. You can't speculate on the price and sell them at a high price, etc. Maybe we could have something like that. This is a rough idea, folks. I haven't really thought it out very deeply. In fact, I thought about it 5 minutes before we went live. So forgive me for the details. But I think it's super important that Japan really focuses on this Akiya problem. It's huge. It's massive, and there's such possibilities. The countryside of Japan is beautiful. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. And I think in the future, more and more people are going to be moving and coming to the urban or away from the urban areas. So we need to be ready. And why not get these foreign investors to work on both? You can own property in the big city, but you have to be able to renovate these Akiya. I don't know. It's just a rough, wild idea. But something needs to be done about this. And just creating a couple of laws that prohibit foreign buyers, it's going to take so much time. And there's going to be loopholes. I guarantee it. There is always a loophole. And it becomes mogura tataki, you know? It come like trying to hit the groundhog. What is that game? The groundhogs pop up and you got to smash them with the hammer. That's what it becomes. Do I have one more slide here? No, that was my last slide, actually. There's so many other issues that this article didn't touch on. One huge problem that is the big talk here in Hokkaido, especially illegal property developments. We're having issues with illegal property developments. Here in the Niseko area, I believe there's actually two big developments. Property was purchased, and Japan is very strict on their, zoning and what you can build where. And we have a lot of national park. The area where this property was inside of the quasi national park, the Shikotsu Toya quasi national park. And basically they put in a plan and said, we're going to build this. And then they built something completely different. And they cut down trees and they built roads and they were making this massive development. And locals discovered it and said, what's going on? Why are they building this? This can't be legal. And it became a big news story, and the construction was stopped. And they found out they had over 40 illegal foreign construction workers on the site. So it's not just about an illegal construction project. They had illegal foreign workers coming over, living and working. So crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. And that was a Chinese project. I think they're both Chinese projects. And I dug into it a little bit, and it turns out there's, a lot of it is related to local politicians and then their connections to construction companies. So even if certain construction companies would refuse to deal with that project, we will not sell them concrete, for example. Then another concrete company from far away who had a connection to a political party was asked to supply the concrete for the project. You see? So there's always a way to get around these rules, and then they keep continuing the project, and it's a very big mess here in Niseko. And I think this will become more and more of a problem all across Japan, especially in the countryside, where there are not enough staff to check on everything. They're overwhelmed with too many construction sites. In the cities where you're building skyscrapers and condominiums, I think it's a little easier to control and to keep an eye on things. But out in the country, it can be very hard. And I think we'll see this happening all across Japan in the future. さあ、今日はこのマーク・ケネディさんの記事をまた紹介しました。2日続けて、なかなかいい記事書く人で、タイムリーなネタを出してくれましたね。海外のバイヤーが日本にいっぱい入ってきて、これ、僕的にはもう10年前、15年前から問題、これ問題ですよって。なぜなら、ここ北海道、僕、ニセコ、スキータウンのニセコの近くに住んでいて、そこによく通ったり仲間がいたり、その建設分、 アセットバブル、まあ、そのスキー場の周り、ニセコの値段がもともとスキー場のすぐ下で、まあ、坪多分3、4万で土地を買えたのに、一番ピークの時に坪50万とか60万とか、とんでもない値段に、上がってた。まあ、それが日本全国で少しこう話題になった、スキー場の周りの土地が売れてますね、高いですね、なんていう話だったけど、ようやく最近、東京、コンドミニアム、アパート、マンションですね。マンションの値段が1年間で20%ぐらい上がってると。それに、海外からのバイヤー、20%ぐらい。なんか三井不動産かどっかの不動産の統計を取ったら、バイヤーの全体の20%ぐらいが海外だという話になってると。で、日本人がもうなかなか値段が上がりすぎ。あと、建物、マンション、丸ごと、海外のオーナーになって、いきなり家賃3倍になりますとかね。こういうことだったり、まあ、テレビ見ればいろんな話題が出てくるんですけど、こういうふうにね、英語で海外にもこのニュースが結構話題になってると。で、えー最後ですね、僕が提案したのはこれですね。この空き家。この空き家問題。僕のちょっとめちゃくちゃなアイデアなんですけどね。僕がコンドミニアムに個人的に興味がない人で、東京の千代田区とか渋谷区にコンドミニアムも、まあ、興味がないっていうか、もう現実味がなさすぎて、自分のレベル、僕のレベルだと、全く、全くそこでの、もう玄関も買えないよっていう。はい。クローゼット一つも買えないと思う。その金額だったら。なんで現実味もないから、僕がもともと興味あって現実味あるのはこの空き家ですね。日本のこう田舎、カントリーサイド。そこでの素敵な家があったり、あとそこの価値、もっと、まあ日本人はじめ、この、町じゃない、都会じゃないところにもう一回見直して、そこでの生活の良さとかね、そこにあるもの。北海道だったら田舎走っていくとね、空き家が多いなだけじゃなくて、村、村ごと潰れてるとこあります。もう、あれなんすかこれ。ゴーストタウンみたいな。もう全部シャッターで、全部ボロボロになって倒れてるような村がありますよ。はい。本当に信じられないレベルになってるところもあります。僕の変なアイディア、そういうところにもね、ちゃんとお金が落ちるような仕組み考えられないんでしょうか。コンドミニアム東京で買ってもいいけど、セットですよと。それを買ったら、空き家が5箇所ついてきます。そっちもリフォームして、住める状態にして、ちゃんと日本に住んでる人に貸す。なんかそんなような仕組みも必要じゃないかなと思って。もう、海外の人は日本の土地を買えないようにするっていうのはね、まあ、結局何かズルしてね、どうにかね、結局買えるようになっちゃうような気がして、それだったらもっとバランスを取れるような方法を考える、なんかいい案がないでしょうか。例えばね、ニセコで見てるのは、みんなものすごい現金持ってきて、その土地を買って、立派なこのコンドミニアムとかホテルとか建てて、で、今度スタッフがいっぱい必要。スタッフが必要。働く人が必要。はい、皆さん働きに来てください。いい給料払いますってやって、で、スタッフが来るよね。あ、いいね。俺も時給2500円もらいたいな。じゃあどこで住めるんですかって。ああ、知りません。え寮ありますか？寮ね、足りない。自分でなんかアパート探してください。周りの街を探しに行く。ないんですよ。ないの。全然ない。もともと田舎の、ニセコだったらニセコ町と倶知安町、町がある2万人住んでる倶知安町は、農家さんと自衛隊。だから、もう埋まってるよ。無駄に余ってるわけないじゃないですか。アパートなんか。で、 立派なね、ホテルだけ作って、街のインフラと全部電気だ、水道だ、なんかもう当たり前のようにつないで、よっしゃー金持ちの客待とうぜカモンだけど、従業員が住むとこ考えてないよ。こういうことなんですよ。だからそういう立派な高いものを作るんだったら、ちゃんと働ける人が住む場所も用意したり、そこに潰れてる古い建物を直したり、そのコミュニティにちゃんと戻すっていうね、こういうなんかルールとか考えが出てこないと、もうアウトじゃないですか。That's my idea. It's a little rough around the edges. It's a diamond in the rough. But hopefully someone can take that and run with it. Maybe we can come up with something good. But definitely the interest in Japan, Japanese property, both countryside Akiya houses and these luxury condominiums in cities like Tokyo, the interest level continues to rise. Every day I look at YouTube and I look at other social media and I see people posting information. I see people creating realty companies to sell or work as a middleman to bring in more foreign buyers. If this problem will get bigger, I 100% guarantee that. So Japan needs to really get their act together and work on it ASAP. Okay, this is kind of good. This is kind of fun. We're always doing good. Let's look at our comments here. Everything. Yeah. So the main problem that most people speak about in Japan is how one of the biggest buyers is obviously China. And the illegal property development I spoke about was also a Chinese project. And it seems to be that there's a lot of talk about how they're trying to build like small, like Chinatowns. Like they're trying to create a community, sort of almost like a gated or a private community for other people to come over later. Like it starts out as one little house and it develops into something big. And in Hokkaido, they're also trying to purchase and take over a lot of the water supply. We have a lot of great spring water, and that particular property in Niseko is on Mount Yote, where a lot of the spring water comes from. So I think there was some concept in that project to drill, get the spring water, and then maybe eventually, I don't know, market and sell it. I don't know what the plan is. Big problem. Thanks for watching, everybody, today. I hope you enjoyed that. About 30 minutes of power lunch on this August the 27th. And I'll be back again tonight with America Today. Looks like there's some interesting news coming out of America. Trump is on another run with his social media posts. He's going wild. He's going wild with the social media posts. And tonight, we're going to talk about Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel has become a big news story in America. It's one of America's classic family restaurants, famiresu, I guess we could call it. And we'll talk about that tonight on America Today. I'll let you get back to your lunch or whatever you're doing. Have a nice afternoon. Have a good day, and I will see you tonight. Thanks for watching, everybody. Keep those comments coming. Arigato ne. See ya.